Hi, I'm Dr. Moses Hall, and I'll be teaching your class in oceanography here at East Carolina University. So, with typical teacher style, I thought I would start with a PowerPoint presentation because that's what we do. So, let me connect to. Okay. So, my name is Dr. Joy Moses Hall. I was born and raised in New York State. Students sometimes ask why I went into physics. The reason, of course, is the hair. I had the hair for it. After living my life to 18 in New York State, I went to the United States Coast Guard Academy and spent 3.5 years there in New London, Connecticut. Seemed like a bit longer. In fact, well, we had to memorize the answer to the question, "How long have you been in the Coast Guard?" with the answer, "All me bloomin' life. I was born on the crest of a wave and rocked in the cradle of the deep. Me eyes is stars, me teeth is spars, me hair is hemp and seaweed, and when I spits tar." So that started a kind of a stream of water trickling through my life plan, became the theme of my life, the water theme of my life. I was not a great sailor, not enough tar spitting, I guess. So after 3.5 years, I left there and went to New Jersey, where I became kind of a jack of all trades on the docks, the fishing docks in Cape May, New Jersey. I was unloading fishing boats, sorting fish, filleting and skinning flounder, and I stayed there about a year. But it was hard work and cold in the winter, hot in the summer. So the easier path was to go to graduate school. So I went to Old Dominion University in Norfolk, Virginia, and majored in oceanography, of course. Norfolk has a research vessel called the Linwood Holton. Actually, I think they've replaced it. They used to have a research vessel called the Linwood Holton, good for tootling around in Chesapeake Bay doing coastal work. So I finished my master's there in physical oceanography, and then I went to Delaware, to the University of Delaware. They also have a research vessel. It was called a Cape Henlopen. And so I spent some time on that. It was interesting. I had kind of change out containers that you could outfit the ship for different research projects. Whatever the specialized nature of a research cruise was, there was a container of equipment that went with that topic. So that made the vessel a lot more versatile for a variety of different research projects. While I was there, I also was able to spend about 10 days on the research vessel Endeavor on a Gale cruise, the Genesis of Atlantic Lows experiment, which the idea of that was to figure out what causes nor'easters and big storms. So we were looking for a storm, and we found one. We found one that we were taking data the whole time. We took meteorological data and ocean data, weather balloons, the equivalent for the ocean, which are these little canisters with instrumentation in them, water samples on a rosette with sampling temperature and salinity in the water. And then we found the storm. So it eventually got so rough, so stormy that we couldn't collect data anymore. But we had all the preliminary data that leads up to the storm, which is really what we were looking for. Here's the process of data collection on the ship. The yellow part there is the rosette that contains a very small instruments, a thermometer and a salinometer and a pressure sensor that tells you how deep it is. And then the long gray canisters are for collecting water samples. They have a lid on the top and the bottom. And as you drop this thing through the water, you can stop it at different levels, slap those lids shut, and it'll capture a sample of water at a particular depth. So then you can analyze the chemistry, the biology, whatever's in that water. You can save that. All right. So then raising my kids, we moved to North Carolina about 25, 30 years ago. And so since I've been in North Carolina, I've been teaching at several schools. I taught part-time at the University of Mount Olive, taught part-time and full-time at Lenore Community College, taught part-time and full-time at Pitt Community College, and I remain full-time at Pitt Community College now, where I teach physics, 5 levels of physics. I've taught astronomy, I've taught environmental science and earth science. But I also teach part-time at East Carolina University, teaching oceanography and occasionally geology. So I raised my kids. I wrote a novel that's set by the Tar River, of course, because we have to continue the water theme. And the book is now about number 4 million on the bestseller list. So it's available on Amazon. Excuse me. And I also write a monthly science column for the Greenville Daily Reflector on various topics, not just physics, not just oceanography. Lots of those. So I studied oceanography, but I like rocks. So I dragged my family around looking at rocks and oceans, but mostly rocks all over the country mainly, but also in other countries. So that's it for me. The rest is about you. If you want to succeed in this class, do the readings and do the assignments and have a great semester. And that picture is of the Tar River in Greenville. The river, of course, heads out to the Sound and then to the sea. And that's part of what we're studying in this class. Thank you very much and have a great semester.